Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head over to Blekinge, which is another one of the southern counties here in Sweden. And for this one we're going to try a beer from another brewery that I've never tried anything from, so very curious to see how this one turns out. So we're going to go to Karlskrona today, which is one of the bigger cities up in Blekinge. I think it might actually be the kind of county capital if you like. But for this one we are going to try my first beer from Skeppsgossen Bryggeri. And this one is one of their Christmas releases. This was released through Systembolaget on the 1st of December 2018. So this one is called Tomtejeveltre and it comes in at 6% ABV. This is their Julöl, their Christmas beer, and from what I gather it's supposed to be a kind of Bock style beer, so very curious to see how this one turns out. This again is a brewery that I had never ever heard of before, so yeah, I like the artwork on it. So if this turns out to be a good beer, I'll need to order a few other things and just see how we get on with them as well. But yeah, very curious to see how this one turns out, and as always I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer. So anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that hopefully I can do from the Skeppsgossen Bryggeri hopefully in the near future, because as I say I hope this beer will be good. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel of course has a geography based tagging system, so you can go into the home page and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Swedish beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyways, tell you a little bit about brewery Skeppsgossen then. So Skeppsgossen are based in Karlskrona in Blekinge. As I mentioned to you, Sweden kind of has that little pointy bit at the bottom, that's Skåne, and then Blekinge is this kind of little bit over here towards the east. But meant to be a very pretty county actually. I've never been over there. But this company was actually founded as a restaurant by Joachim Bengtsson and Camilla Rosengren back in 2009. But they began brewing beer in April of 2015 to sell in their restaurant. But they very quickly began to actually put it through Systembolaget as well, because their beers proved to be quite popular. But they're now brewing using a 3 vial system. They've got a capacity of around 600 to 700 litres per brew, and their current brewer is Masse Tolstam as well. So they're a little bit prolific. They've got somewhere around 13 or 14 different types of beer, and they're all different varieties of course, so they are trying lots and lots of different things. And they've got a few kind of seasonal beers there as well. The menu of the restaurant looked very nice as well. So hopefully if I get out to Karlskrona at some point, I can have a little look at their restaurant. That would be a really nice little trip actually, because as I say, I've never been over to Blekinge, and I've heard that that Kalmar is very nice, so maybe that's something I can do at some point fairly soon actually. I do need to see a little bit more of Sweden rather than just trying the beers from all the different places. But yeah, there wasn't too much information available on this brewery, and they've only been going for a couple of years, and as I say, they started off, it's kind of a little bit like Stigbergets actually, they started off as a restaurant brewery. So yeah, another really interesting little company. If you want to learn a little bit more, check out the brewery website in the description below. I'll put their Facebook page and things like that as well. You can follow that and keep up to date with all the latest goings on, and of course they do have Instagram that you can follow them on as well. But yeah, looking forward to this one then. So that's all you need to know just now, and we'll get on to the tasting of this beer itself. So this one is a 6% Bock beer. It's hopped with Hersbrucker, which is German hop, and it's also got Cara Aroma in the malt base, Carafa, and also some wheat malts too. So as I say, very curious to see how this one turns out. Let's get rid of the brewery notes and we will get on to the actual tasting of this beer itself. So there you can see nice artwork on this one. I really like the artwork on these, and the artwork on the labels from this brewery, I have to say, I was a good fan of. Peter over at The Clueless Drinker, of course, he likes to fawn a little bit over the artwork of some of these breweries, and I think this is one that he might kind of enjoy. There you can see the Skeppsgossen Bryggeri symbol there, quite nice actually. But yeah, nicely presented beer this. As I say, impressed with the artwork. Plain red bottle cap on this one to give it that kind of Christmassy feel. So yeah, 6% Bock beer. Let's get it out and we will get on with the tasting then. Very curious, like I said, to see how this one turns out. A little bit of smoke on the opening, and we'll get it out and into the glass. Just watch that the head doesn't go too crazy on this one, although I thought it was going to go a bit mental, but think it's going to be okay. There you go. Last little bit. And there you are. So yeah, interesting. You can smell some of that. There's some nice red fruity notes coming out of this beer as soon as you open it up. But yeah, it's got a sort of figgy, raisiny kind of note to it as well. But yeah, if I hold this beer up to the light, it's a nice dark ruby colour, but it's got a nice kind of chestnutty edge to it as well. There's a solid finger of a frothy, I would say kind of beige, fawny coloured head on this one, but it's the bubbles in this head are definitely bigger than some of the other beers that I've come across in recent times. But yeah, this is a nice red chestnutty colour, this one. One or two big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, a few little ones heading up towards the bottom of that head, and if I hold the beer up here, it does have a degree of haze to it, but it also has a degree of transparency. It's somewhere in the middle between hazy and clear. But yeah, nice looking beer this. And nothing, if it is a Bock beer, in terms of its appearance, it is kind of fairly, close to what you would expect. So we'll see how we get on with this one. As I say, normally if it's a Bock beer, if it's a regular Bock, it's not too far off this colour. If it's a Doppelbock, it can be a little bit darker than that normally. But yeah, I've had some Doppelbocks recently that have been very, very kind of how do you say, very strong in terms of their, it's just like a single bock in terms of its flavour profile, but it's been very, very strong in terms of its alcohol content, so definitely really interesting. But yeah, let's take a closer look at the aroma of this one and just see how we get on. So yeah, with this beer, definitely a little bit of a bready quality in there. So it's the kind of nice brown bready note as well. You can pick up some of these lovely caramelly brown sugary notes. It's a little bit of a darker caramel, almost a little bit treacle-ish, and it's got a little bit of a toasted edge to it as well, I would say. And there's definitely a little bit of a roasted black malt in there. The Carafa malt, I've always found, has a bit of a distinctive note to it. It's almost a little bit chocolatey, but at the same time it's brown sugary and almost black. It's almost like this really kind of, it's almost like a super malt that has these kind of three different tastes and stuff in it. So just just be aware of that when you're smelling this beer. You can definitely smell there is a little bit of that kind of almost aromatic note to the malt base as well, which is kind of interesting. The carrot aroma, it sounds, it does sound a little bit like I'm just saying what what the malt sounds like it's going to be, but really the Cara Aroma malts, I think these are it's a Weirmann malt as well, the big famous malt factory in Bamberg. It really has this, it's got a sweet caramel, but it's just very, very pungent, and it's really nice, and you can definitely pick up that slightly more pungent kind of thing from the malt base here. But the malt base is a really lovely blend. As I say, it's almost got a little bit of that blackish malt quality to it. Some brown sugars in there, treacly, a little bit of toasty character as well, some sweeter caramel, nice bready notes, and yeah, it's just really nice how everything goes together in this one. I like how all these how all the aromas in the malt base go together too. In terms of the hoppy side of things, definitely picking up some of that German noble quality, a little bit of that slightly sweeter earthy note, some nice floral notes, but that's kind of minimal, to be honest, and there's a bit of light grassiness in there too. As I was saying when we opened the beer up, there's a little bit of a kind of red fruity thing going on. It's it's got it has a little touch of a raisiny sharpness to it, but then it's got the more sort of juicy figgy notes for it as well. But yeah, I like how this I like how all the aromas in this beer go together. But yeah, let's not waste any more time with this one. Let's have a taste of this. So just to make sure I pronounce it correctly, this one is the Tomtejeveltre, Tomtejeveltre, if I don't know, the Julöl basically from the Skeppsgossen Bryggeri over in Karlskrona in Blekinge County. Let's get stuck into this one. A Bock beer at 6% ABV. Slange, skål. Yeah, that's pretty nice actually. One thing I'll say that I'm noticing quite close with it, and I suspected it when we opened the beer up, it's got the carbonation is a little bit active in this one, so just be aware of that when you try this beer. Yeah, in terms of flavour profile, This beer, I think, is a really nice one. Pardon me. Took a little bit of that down the wrong way. This beer is really nice in terms of its flavour profile, but I think it's just a little bit over carbonated. The carbonation's taken away and just kind of nullifying some of these flavours a little bit. It just needs to be a little bit smoother to really bring out everything that's in this malt base. So just be aware when you try this beer, the carbonation, it really does kind of, it almost just attacks your tongue a little bit. And I think that's kind of, it's almost just nullifying some of the flavours a little bit. But yeah, in terms of the flavour profile, I'll say straight away, this is a nice beer. But you know, if they can sort out the carbonation in this beer a little bit and just make it a little bit more smooth, I think they're really onto a winner with this. So yeah, let's try and break this down a little bit. So you can see in the middle of the palate that you've got this nice sort of brown bready quality that just blankets the middle of your tongue. On top of that, you've got a nice sort of brown sugary note in there. You can feel the caramel in the centre of your palate. It's almost got a little bit of that slightly treacle-ish note that I was talking about. And the further into the aftertaste you go, you do get a little tiny impression of this kind of black malty quality, but really it's more chocolatey. As I say, brown bread, a little bit of chocolate in there, right in the centre of your palate. You've got the caramel and treacly notes. There's a whole host of things kind of going on in this one, which is just really nice. And I'm guessing the bready notes to this beer are coming from the wheat malt they've used in this one. It does have a very, very smooth malt base to it, like I said. Yeah, I like how this one is, I really like how this one's going together. The malt base is really nice. Whether it fits into the category of a Bock Beer, truly I'm not sure. It doesn't taste all that similar to, it's got some similarities, but it is quite different from the German Bock beers that I've drank a lot of on the channel, right enough. But the main thing is, it's a good beer. You can argue about styles all day long, but the main question is this a good beer? And I like this one. I wouldn't hesitate to drink this again, actually. I do wonder if on tap it would be just a little bit smoother, and I think this would be one that's it would be a really good tap beer, actually. But in the bottle it's just a little touch over carbonated, as I was saying. But yeah, malt base goes together really nicely on this one. The further out from the centre of the palate that you come, it's a little bit of a kind of biscuit, you know. The further forward on the tongue, it's got a little almost woody element to it. There's maybe even a little touch of a kind of nutty flavour coming out of this one, the further into the aftertaste that you go. But yeah, as I say, I like how everything is going together in this one. It's got a nice, the malt base is just is really well done, actually. I like this combination of flavours that they've got out of this beer. On the hoppy side of things then, back corners of the palate, you've got a nice little bit of that typical smooth German noble hop earthiness. And when you come a little bit further forward, it just smooths out a little bit. You get a little touch of a floral aromaticity at the front corners of the palate, then round the very front curve of the tongue, you've got a little bit of that typical lighter, noble, grassy note to the beer as well, which is really nice. And behind the front curve of the tongue, of course, that's where you get that nice oily bubble where those juicy, fruity esters start to come out of the beer. So yeah, for this one, I think it's, you've got a nice sort of red, fruity note to the beer as well. Like I was saying, it's a little bit, it has a tiny bit of a sort of raisiny sharpness to it in the beginning, but it very quickly smooths out just to be more of a sort of figgy kind of flavour. There's a little bit of a candied fruit sort of thing the further into the aftertaste you go, but mainly it's mainly I would say this one is yeah, it's more along the lines of a kind of figgy flavour. This one, it's got that nice juicy note to it as well. But yeah, this beer I think is really nice. I like, as I say, I like how this malt base goes together, and if they can sort out that little carbonation issue that the beer has, they really are onto a winner with this one. In terms of the mouthfeel, mid-bodied beer all the way. Carbonation, as I say, is just a little bit over what it should be. It's very, very crisp almost. It doesn't quite have the same smoothness that you might want it to have. It's somewhere between a wet and an oily mouthfeel overall. Nice little touch of bitterness from the hops, but mainly they're quite smooth. I'd be surprised if you're getting 25 IBUs out of this beer. Malt base, like I was saying, very, very smooth, but also balanced with some nice sweetness in there. The malt base for me is all about how these flavours go together, and you've got a nice little juicy, fruity quality to this beer as well. So yeah, lots of interesting things going on in this one, and to me, a really nice sort of Christmassy beer. It does really fit into that Christmassy category very, very well. So for my first beer review from the Skeppsgossen Bryggeri, I'm going to say, yeah, thumbs up, have a go with this beer. I'd love to try it on tap and just see what it's like when it's a little bit smoother, but as it stands, very, very nice beer. Just be aware that this one is just a little touch over carbonated, but yeah, as I say, glad to be able to review this one for you, and it's always cool to review beers from some of these different small breweries that we've got over here. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my take on this one. But once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from the Skeppsgossen Bryggeri as well, over in Karlskrona, and hopefully, like I say, I can get out there and visit their restaurant and brewery at some point soon. But until the next time, Slange just now, make sure you check out my social media and things like that, and I will catch you guys later with more beer reviews and things like that, and I'm sure I'll review some more from this brewery in the fairly near future. But yeah, until the next time, Slange just now, and I'll catch you guys later. This one was the Tomtejeveltre Julöl from the Skeppsgossen Bryggeri over in Blekinge, in Karlskrona in Blekinge. Slange just now, and I'll catch you guys later. Skål.